All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Sarah Farnsworth, and I wanted to interview Maria Dillon here today to share her wonderful transformation story with all of you in HHP, along our team, prospects that are wondering, is this for you or not? Because her transformation and her story will just really make a huge difference in whether or not you believe you can or you can't, I think. So, a little bit about Maria. She was born here in Ohio. After getting her degree in special education, she returned to her childhood home and found the man of her dreams living next door. They got married in 2006 and now are the proud parents of 5 young children, ages 11 and under. She joined our Isogenics family in 2016 and has massively transformed her life. She is also a proud member of our 100-pound club with Isogenics, and she also is a 1-star Silver Circle director with us. So welcome, Maria.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Good to be here.
Yes, thanks for coming. All right. So how does it feel to have accomplished losing 100 pounds and changing your life over the last 3.5 years?
Completely surreal. When I was first introduced to Isogenics, I really thought it was like, it's another one of those diet fad things, and I was desperate, so I said fine. But yeah, I mean, so many things in my life changed that I had zero idea what magic was about to happen. So when I think back on the last 3.5 years and the things that I've done and who I've become, it really is mind-blowing, because I never had self-confidence, energy, I mean, so many things. I don't even know if I could list all of the things that I've sort of grown into as a result of this nutrition. And I really don't think it's about the number on the scale as much as how much my life changed as a result of feeling good and feeling strong and confident and empowered and energized. So yeah, it's certainly, the last 3.5 years would have been very different had I not said yes.
And I've gotten to witness your entire journey, and I have to say I knew you before. Oddly enough, I used to cut her hair before. So crazy how these stories come together. And I know you.
Small town.
Yeah. And you are nowhere near the same person that used to come and sit in my chair. Not at all.
Not
I mean,
at all.
you wouldn't even let me cut your hair short. You would always be once a year, maybe.
Well, and to be honest, I have to tell you, part of the reason I didn't want to get my hair cut short was because I always felt like it would draw more attention to how big I was from the neck down. So I felt like I had to have more hair to like balance things out. So it's one of those weird things that, when you've struggled with your weight, you become attached to these other things. And hair was like my comfort thing. So it's all gone now.
I know. No comfort left. All right.
Right.
Tell us about your first year with Isogenics, how you used the products to lose that 100 pounds.
Whoa. Sorry. I'm just going to hold this so that I don't lose you again. I think the easiest way to explain this is simple. I opened up the box, I took out the pamphlet, and I read it, and I fully committed to doing everything on that little shake day, cleanse day, calendar routine, because when I spent the money on my first box, I was determined that if it wasn't going to work, it wasn't going to be my fault. It wasn't going to be user error. I was going to do it exactly how it told me to do it. So when it didn't work, I could be like, this stuff doesn't work. And I fell for it, and shame on me. But it did work because I did it exactly as I was told to do it. I set reminders on my phone for when to have what until it just became second nature, which happened really quick. But I know the first week I felt like, oh my gosh, I have all these things I'm supposed to take and do and eat, and I don't know. So I set little alarms on my phone, and lather, rinse, repeat, as I like to say. And I just did that week after week after week after week, and watched the pounds just sort of melt away.
And I remember, so I wanted to share this part because so often this happens and it can be really discouraging. So it's the reason that you need to have a coach. But I remember a month getting close to that 100 pounds that you lost 0 pounds. And I remember the panic that set in, right? And then you did your measurement for that month, and it was like you lost 13 inches in 1 month.
Yeah.
So we need to share that because that is very, very important, because people think that it's all about the scale, and it's not. Things are happening even when you can't see them happening, right?
Exactly.
Right. So Maria,
Definitely.
Maria not only lost 100 pounds, then shortly after got pregnant with baby number 5, and then began her weight loss journey again after having that baby. So why don't you tell us what that looked like? What advice would you give women who are still planning a family after their weight loss?
Okay, so let me tell you, I certainly wasn't planning a 5th child, but so many women, having spent a lot of time in the trying to conceive and pregnancy world with my 4 previous pregnancies, so many women are hesitant to start a weight loss journey or a health journey while they're still having babies, because it's like, well, why am I going to work really, really hard to lose a bunch of weight when I'm just going to gain it back, and then I'm going to have to lose it all over again? And I wish I could go back to the person I was after baby number 1, and I had gained way too much weight. And instead of waiting, I wish I would have realized that you don't have to lose that weight all over again, because you don't necessarily need to gain as much weight. When you're following the same unhealthy habits, you tend to gain a lot more weight in pregnancy, and you don't have to gain that weight. So, by the time baby number 5 rolls around, I had lost 100 pounds, and I was able to gain appropriate levels of weight and have a healthy pregnancy without just ballooning up like I had in the past. And then when it was time to lose the weight, I had all of the tools. I had all of the community. I had all of the motivation and the recognition and the familiarity with the system and how it works. So as soon as it was go time, I just got right back in with both feet and was able to release all of that pregnancy weight and get right back down to where I was. So yeah, my advice is don't wait. Don't wait. I mean, there's no sense in waiting and adding more unhealthy weight, only to start at some later date. Just go ahead and do it.
Because you can use the products all the way through your pregnancy. They're safe for pregnant, nursing moms, safe for kids. So we don't need to wait. That's the beauty of it. I wish I would have had this in between all of mine, like I was already done, so I didn't get to, but game changer for sure.
Yeah. Well, and even the energy in those postpartum months, like, you are just zapped, like lack of sleep. Why would you wait to be well fueled with your nutrition until you're 9 months postpartum or a year postpartum, and finally maybe coming out of the haze. And yeah, you need that nutrition through pregnancy and those first months when you don't know which end is up. So
So tell me about your mindset during these processes. I mean, it sounds like you were driven and determined from the get-go. And do you think that carried you through? What else was there to keep you going and not quit?
I think there's definitely peaks and valleys. I mean, overall, I am too stubborn to quit. But there was definitely valleys along my journey where, my mind would allow like negative thoughts to kind of get the best of me. And, but I think the beauty of Isogenics is that we have this amazing community through HHP, through the Isobody Challenge, through all of these arenas that we can plug into. So when we're in a valley, if you reach out and surround yourself with all of these people that are motivated and driven and positive and like goal driven, you can't stay in that valley. It's almost impossible unless you choose. If you choose to, like, this is the way I'm going to be and I'm going to, okay. But you don't have to choose that because you have all of these resources around you and your team and your coaches and your friends. And yeah, so I absolutely took advantage of those. When I recognized that I was taking a dip, I plugged in. And events, oh, can I throw that in there? If
Sure.
you ever feel like you are disconnected and negative, get your tail to an event, because you cannot walk out of an event. However big or small the event is, you cannot walk out without feeling just ready to roll and ready to crush whatever goal, whether it's a business goal, whether it's a transformation goal. You can't walk out and just be like, yeah, I don't know, I don't feel so good. No.
I
Go to
agree.
an event and
I think it's
leave
great.
on fire.
It's great to plug in. And again, it's the same thing. Like even the small, like sip and samples, those kind of things, it's accountability. It's having those people to surround you. So if you need that every week, then you get your butt there, decide what you
Absolutely.
need and just definitely work towards it.
Yes, for
All
sure.
right. So after doing all that, now she's decided to conquer yet another goal, and she's working her way as to be an athlete now. So tell us what made you decide to go down this road as the half marathon. She's also began CrossFit. So what's got you all of a sudden into that realm of the world?
Um, I with my first transformation, I really did no exercise until my body started craving it. And it was actually the beginning of the summer. I've never liked running, but I decided, you know what? I can run, so I'm going to run because I can. So I ran 1 mile and I posted on Facebook about, yay for me. I rode my bike and I ran 1 mile. And then a fellow Isogenics team member said, you know what you should do is a triathlon. And I was like, no. But I let that idea simmer for a week or two. And then I signed up for a mini triathlon and I just loved it. I loved training for it and I loved the energy. And so it was after that triathlon that I was determined I was going to do another triathlon. And in the meantime, I wanted to, we were entering the winter months, which is not triathlon season in Ohio. So I was going to work on my running and I wanted to improve my swimming. And so that's how I ended up with CrossFit, was because I just needed to strengthen my core. And I thought, well, let's see what this CrossFit thing is all about. And then I hired a running coach, a fellow 100-pound club running coach, Jen Gardner, and started working on adding some more miles. And then I had this crazy idea that maybe I could maybe run a half marathon. And again, surrounding yourself with all of the support and tools. And I once I spoke it into existence, it wasn't going to not happen. And Jen was right behind me the whole way and telling me I could do it. So I conquered that goal, and with the hopes of in the fall getting back to triathlons.
And as you can see, her race bling is behind her. And we're all jealous of the medal that she got from her half marathon in Arizona.
I intentionally get there so you could see it, Sarah. That's one she wants there.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right. So, how would you say that isogenics has allowed you to change your eating then and switch to be an athlete? Like, what have you incorporated and changed?
So that's tough to answer because I don't know that I've changed a whole lot. I mean, I've definitely added in a lot more of the amped line for my training and for my workouts and for races and stuff. But the truth is, as far as products that I'm using on a daily basis, I pretty much still use the same awesome shakes that helped me lose weight to fuel me for gaining lean muscle and getting stronger. I mean, I definitely use like the tri-release protein as part of my workout recovery after CrossFit, but not a whole lot has changed as far as my shake day routines.
Right. And mine's kind of similar. I'm like her. I use the same shakes that everyone else uses for weight loss. I just use them in kind of a different way, I guess. Like I add the athletic performance products because of what I'm choosing to do. So we can tailor it for anybody, which is beautiful, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what is the one product that you absolutely could never live without?
I'll be honest, it's birthday cake shakes. I could live on them exclusively. I know everybody has their favorites, and I cannot lie. It's birthday cake shake, and I would have it morning, noon, and night every single day of the week. And I'm so glad that it is now a permanent flavor.
I know. Yay for you.
I know, yeah.
I was not expecting that. I would agree. If I had to say one was the only one I could keep, it would be a shake because it is so easy. It's easy to eat on the go. It's easy to take it with you. It travels. You don't have to worry about grabbing yucky fast food.
And it's so good. It's so good.
Like ice cream twice a day, every day. Like I'm getting an ice cream.
I know.
And 4.5 years later, nope, not tired of it. Not at all. Still crave it. You literally crave it because your body needs the nutrition. It's crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
So last question, what I really want to know from you is what advice can you give for those watching this video that are saying, I don't know if this is for me. I'm afraid. They're living in fear that they might fail. What can you give them to help them to make that decision to at least give it a try and stay committed, even for 30 days?
Yeah. Okay. This is easy because this is me. And I will tell you that when I first got started, I had almost zero expectations of success. But I started it, even though, everybody says, no, this is a healthy lifestyle. This is something you can do forever. And obviously it is, because here I am almost 4 years later. But when I first got started, even if you have to start it with a diet mentality, start it. And you will eventually, by the time you get to the end of that first month, you're going to recognize how much better you feel. You're going to see the pounds coming off, and you will choose to do it again for another month. and you will still continue to see the results, and you will still continue to feel better, and you will still have, you know, all of the benefits of feeding yourself well and having less cravings for the crap that, I mean, for me, I was eating fast food. I don't even want to admit how many times a week, sometimes a day, multiple times a day.
Mm-hmm.
And when that goes away and you start to just feel alive again, and then you go, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you have to go into it just saying, I'm only going to do this for a month, do it for a month, but do it exactly the way it tells you to do it for that month. And then, you know, if after that month you aren't feeling incredible, then I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but
Yeah.
you should do it for that month. And if you're anything like me, and I will admit that after the first month, I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. I was like, you know what? Stuff doesn't taste bad, and I'm definitely seeing results. So I'm going to do this for another couple months. And here I am now, almost 4 years later. So just do it and commit to it for a month, and then commit to it for a second month, and then a third month. And then you will see and feel the difference. So that's my advice.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I can say for you and Jen both, because they were kind of walking alongside each other here in our community, losing that 100 pounds together. So number one, they had each other and they had us to cheer them on. But what they did was they stayed committed. They didn't start and stop and start and stop. The consistency was the absolute key. They never quit. You might have had a bad meal, you might have had a bad day, but you never ever quit.
Yeah, and I will, because you said that, I was not perfect. I ate cheeseburgers and fries from time to time. Never fast food, ironically. It didn't appeal to me anymore, but I would go out to eat and order a cheeseburger and have fries. I would get ice cream with my kids from time to time. It was a smaller portion, but again, I never completely said, you know what? I'm done with these shakes. I can't. I celebrated birthdays and holidays. It's consistency and living it as a lifestyle, and just keeping at it and keeping at it and keeping at it. And if you get stuck, you tap into your community, you ask some questions from people that have done it before, and you say, hey, I need some help, I'm stuck. Which I did. I got stuck, and I reached out and I said, I need to get unstuck. What should I do? Mm-hmm. So yeah, stay consistent and stay committed and stay plugged in.
For sure. I mean, Jen said a lot of the same things as you. Like, she didn't restrict herself and tell herself no when she wanted something, you know, like have a smaller portion. You know, if you want that cheeseburger and fries, that's okay, but keep doing your shakes too, you know? So
right.
That's great advice. I just want to thank you so much for your time, for being here with us, and for sharing your story. And hopefully your light can help inspire someone else to do the same thing. And if they need our help, hopefully they'll reach out to you and say, hey, Maria, tell me how. She's willing to talk. Course. Yeah, she'll help you. We will all help you. So again, thank you all for listening. And I hope this added value to your life.